Of great speculation. Will face masks be ditched or not? And it's a debate, of course, we're all having, but the health experts are talking about it as well. The National Coronavirus Command Council met today, of course, members of the cabinet part of that. The mask-wearing mandate, we understand, is up for discussion. So let's speak to Heidi Giokos, who's been on the story today. So yesterday, Heidi, that leaked memo, it did come from the health department, but it was very much a discussion paper. But now it's confirmed, the cabinet meeting today. And we're hearing tomorrow that the health minister is going to be having a media briefing. So that, of course, has heightened speculation that we're going to maybe lose the masks tomorrow. What are you hearing?
Sally, I'm not hearing much, and I think it's because it's still a conversation. And I do think that because the president is currently very occupied at this stage, of course, this might have caused some kind of delay with regards to a decision being made. But I think it's important to highlight the fact that the COVID-19 regulations no longer fall under the National State of Disaster. It moved over to being under the National Health Act, and there were specific COVID regulations, for example, mask wearing indoors and a limitation on certain gatherings and events and mask wearing at those particular events. So the big question is, will these regulations fall away or just not be a regulation anymore for now, given the fact that we don't have so many deaths anymore, hospitalization is very low, and COVID-19 infection is also significantly lower. We do understand that because of this, health experts seem to suggest that there is no need to wear masks indoors any longer, and perhaps the regulations need to speak to the data, and the data is not showing that it's a concerning picture. The fifth wave is presumed to be over. It wasn't as alarming or concerning as many were predicting, and variants are not of concern anymore. So yes, variants are becoming subvariants. Omicron, I'm not even sure how many subvariants it has anymore, but it's not concerning anymore. It's not what we've seen over the last 2 years. So let's listen to what one particular health expert had to say about the regulations.
Abandoning the mask wearing regulations would be in line with the data we're currently receiving. It's not clear to what extent the masks are effective in the first instance, so there is that to consider, particularly given that most South Africans are wearing ordinary cloth masks and often multiple use without washing. So there is an effectiveness issue to consider as well. But obviously, you know, the main issue with mask wearing is that it's inconvenient and unpleasant, and people are tired of wearing masks. And if they were making a big difference, and if you know, the rate of daily new infections was very high, then mask wearing would make sense if they were effective. But you know, right now the fifth wave has come to an end. It never really peaked at a massively high level, at least not in comparison to previous waves. And so ending the mask regulation does seem like a sensible move by government, in my opinion. You know, you've got to look at it in broader terms. You've got to look at the social and economic consequences of these remaining lockdown regulations. And I think, given where we are in the epidemic curve, it does make sense to start easing these off.
All right, so it seems there's consensus amongst the scientists. Of course, we'll wait to hear what Cabinet thinks. Hopefully we'll find out tomorrow. What are ordinary people saying?
They do not want masks anymore. I think I'm one of them. I think it's time we show off our faces every single day and not just when we're outdoors. What we do understand is that a lot of people have indicated to us that they don't believe that we should wear masks anymore. They don't believe in the COVID-19 regulations. And Sally, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that people are seeing that COVID-19 infections are very low at this stage. And also, you have an opportunity and a chance to be vaccinated. And I think that plays a big role in all of this. We do know that being vaccinated does prevent against severe infection and death. And this is why, of course, the data is also probably showing infection rates a lot less, and it's not as worrying as before. We got a chance to go out and speak to some people, and they've all, I think there were just 2 that said, no, I think I'll still wear a mask, because people also are still around vulnerable people with their parents, their grandparents and elderly people. So they feel as though they would rather wear the mask to protect all individuals around them. But the majority said, I cannot wait to not have to buy masks anymore, or have to constantly be rewashing my cloth masks. So let's listen to what they said.
For me, no, I'm still fine with my mask. I don't have a problem with my mask. Yes, I'm still going to wear mine because 2020, I lost a lot of my family members died from corona. So I'm still scared.
It's a wrong decision if the COVID is still around. I think we keep wearing masks until the COVID disappears. Because if you stop wearing masks, COVID is going to spread. Simple as that.
Okay, man. I think it's long overdue, right? If you look at what's happening in Europe and other first world countries, nobody's wearing masks right there, right? So masks, yeah, it served its purpose for me.
I don't mind it at all. Like this is just a nuisance at the moment. Like it doesn't do anything at the moment. So I just feel like we don't need the mask anymore. If you get sick, you get sick. If you don't get sick, it's we're in the stage of everything's getting back to normal. So getting rid of the mask will be better.
We're suffocating inside this, and I'm going to be the first person to remove it, to take it off. Yes.
Frankly speaking, I think it is a good option to be considered, knowing that in Europe many places have already adopted this strategy, so why not here?
And Heidi, what time is that cabinet meeting report back tomorrow?
It's at 11 o'clock, Sally. So at 11 o'clock, we'll find out if we still have to spend over 80 Rand per box for a mask.
Whether we can rather use that on lipstick.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that update. Heidi Giokos there. Let's now